Hello everyone, guys, I'm Utkarsh and I welcome you all to this session on data import and integration. So guys, let's have a look at the agenda for this session. The agenda for this session includes syncing Power Query with live databases, where we'll be connecting Power Query with some tables from the database which we have set as the default, right, which will be passing in the configuration. So we'll be connecting, let's say, to some SQL tables present in some database using the Excel, and this will be processing it in the Power Query. So far till the previous sessions, we have seen how to, let's say, export SQL outputs into Excel, and how to connect, let's say, how to connect SQL files, how to import tables from different CSV files into MySQL and Postgre. So let's switch to the Excel window. So guys, over here we are in the Excel window. Now over here, if we wish to connect to some live database, right, what is the approach? The approach is to go to the data, and then over here we can go to from data. Now, as we have seen and discussed, there are n number of options to connect to different data sources. As of now, we have only utilized, let's say, connecting from file, let's say from the workbook or from text/CSV to open this up in Power Query. But we do have options to connect with live database, where we can sync with some live database present in the SQL database, right, where we can connect with some live tables. So over here we do have the option of database. So we can connect it to SQL Server, to Microsoft Access, to Analysis Service, to Oracle, to IBM, MySQL, Postgre. All these options are available. And there is another option of you connecting with the same using the ODBC, right? So if I were to connect from ODBC, so for ODBC we have to install the drivers, right? We have to set up and configure the driver. We have to set up the ODBC connection. So, and currently we don't get to see, let's say, MySQL over here. So first we have to, let's say, establish the connection, download the connection. All right, we have to download the driver that connects Excel to MySQL, or maybe Excel to Postgre, and then from the ODBC we can establish the connection. So I'll show you the other option. So this is one option. The other option is directly we can go to get data, and then there is an option from database, and then over here I can go to from MySQL database. So because I've already set the ID and password, so currently it won't ask me for my ID and password, right? So I just need to pass the server name. So my server name is going to be localhost, and the database that I'm using is going to be dbdemo1. All right, this is going to be my database, and then I can click on OK. So by default it will automatically connect because I've set up the ID and password. So in the next step, in case you don't get to see, you'll have to pass the ID and password in the database section, not the Windows ID and password, but the database ID and password, right? So for example, for MySQL, the ID and password that I use are, let's say, the root is the user ID, the user is root, and everyone can have their own password, right? So I have a different set of password. You'll be using your own password to connect Excel with MySQL. So let's get back over here. Now over here we are in the navigator, where we can choose to select one or multiple tables. So over here we do have, let's say, multiple related tables which I'll be connecting to. So the first table, this is all about doctors and appointments. So I'll be connecting to, let's say, the appointments table, where I do have the appointment ID, the patient ID, the doctor ID, the appointment date, the appointment time, the reason for visit, and the status. Then I do have the billing. So again, billing is for, let's say, the patients. We do have the bill ID, the patient ID, the treatment ID, the bill date, the amount, and then I do have the payment method, and then the payment status, right? So this is appointment and billing. Next we do have the, next there is some doctors table. Yes, so over here we do have the doctors table, where the information is doctor ID, first name, the last name, the specialization. Then we do have the phone number, then we have the years of experience, then we have the hospital branch, and then the email, right? So this is the doctor. So as of now we have considered the appointment table, the billing table, and the doctors table. Next we do have two more tables. We have tables such as treatment. All right, and in the treatment table we have the treatment ID, appointment ID, treatment type, description, and then besides the description we have the cost and the treatment date. So there's one more table that we have. So we do have the patients table, right? We do have the patients table, where I do have the patient ID, the first name, the last name, the gender, the date of birth, the contact number, the address, the registration date, then we have the insurance provider, then we have the insurance number, and the email ID of the patients. So currently I've selected all these five tables: treatments, patients, doctors, and appointments and billing. So for connection, I have set the server name as localhost, and the database that I'm connecting to is db demo1. So from db demo1 I do get to see all the tables that we have. So next I can simply click on load to load the files in Excel, or I can click on transform to take these files to Power Query where I can apply a number of transformations along with data cleaning. So let's go to transform. So guys, over here we are in the let's say Power Query window. So we can combine all these 5 tables over here. So let's just have a look at the different tables, right? So the first table is, let's say, doctors, where we have the doctor ID, first name, last name, specialization, and the phone number. And let's say along with the hospital branch and email, so no need for any cleaning. Likewise, then we have the patients table, and in the patients table we do have the patient ID, the first name, the last name, the gender, and then we have the date of birth, then let's say the contact number, the address, the registration date, the insurance provider, and let's say the email, right? So maybe we can concat the first name and the last name. So if I select these 2 columns, if I right click them, so do we have the option to, let's say, so there is an option to merge the columns, right? We do have the option to merge the columns, but let's concat this differently. So how do we concat these 2 columns? So over here we can go to add column, then there is an option for custom column, right? So I'm going to the custom column, and in the patients table I'll be combining the first name and the last name. So this is going to be the full name, right? This is going to be the full name, and in the full name I'll be writing see patient first name, this is the first name, so insert the first name, and then because I need to concatenate, right? So concatenation in Power Query happens with ampersand. So because I need to concatenate with a space in between, so first name, and then I need to pass the last name. Also guys, this is how concatenation works. Over here it says no syntax errors have been detected, so this is going to be the this is how I'm concatenating the first name and the last name. And over here we can see we do have the patient first name and the last name. All right, so can we do the same thing in doctor? Yes, even in doctor we have the first name and last name. So let's apply this transformation. So again, custom column, so over here I'll be using, let's say, the full name. All right, doctor full name, I'm calling this doctor full name, so as to avoid any confusion. And over here I'll be utilizing the first name and ampersand, and then space, and then ampersand, and then the last name. All right, so this is what I have. So this is doctor full name, and then I can click on OK. So once I have this, over here we do have the doctor full name, right? This is what we have. And once this is available, once I have the doctor full name available, the same thing we have applied with the patients. And next we have the treatment, right? Next we have the treatment. So we have the treatment ID, the appointment ID, the treatment type, description, the cost, and then the treatment date. All right, these are the details that we have. So as of now, no need to combine any, let's say, any transformation over here, because all the valid values are 100%. We don't get to see any error or the empty values, right? So this was about treatment, doctors and patients we have seen. Then we have the billing. So again, for billing, we have the bill ID, the patient ID, the treatment ID, the bill date, the amount, and then we do have the payment method and the payment status. And next, if we check, then we have the appointment. So appointment, we have the appointment ID, the patient ID, the doctor ID, the appointment date, the appointment time, and then the reason for visit and the status. So maybe we can apply transformations. Let's say we can combine all the 5 tables first, and then we'll proceed with a couple of let's say business report summarization. So doctors and let's say patients, currently we cannot combine them because over here we do just have the doctor and the patient ID. So let's directly go to the appointment, where we have the doctor, patient ID, and the doctor ID, right? So first I'll be combining the appointment with the doctors. All right, so let's do one thing. Let's go to home, and over here maybe I can click on merge queries as new. So appointment and doctors, right? So this is going to be the appointments, and over here I'm selecting the doctors, and then what can be done, I wish to go for the inner join only. So this is based on the doctor ID. So in the appointments table I do have the doctor ID, and even in the doctors table I do have the doctor ID, जिनके बेस पे हम इन दोनों टेबल्स को कंबाइन करेंगे, and then we can click on OK. So once we click on OK, this is merge one. So maybe I can rename, I'll call this appointments and doctors. All right, so I'm calling this the appointments and the doctors, right? So this is appointments and doctors. So appointment ID, patient ID, doctor ID, appointment date, appointment time, and then let's say reason for visit, status, and then DB demo one doctor. So I can expand this. Now I don't need the doctor ID again, but okay, maybe I don't need the first name and the last name because I do have the full name. and then the specialization phone number, I don't need maybe the phone number as well. Years of experience would count, yes. Hospital branch would count. Email again would not be required, I won't be needing the email, or maybe I can utilize the email as well. So that's it. So okay, so these are the columns that I've used, right? So for the doctors I've used, let's say the specialization, the years of experience, the hospital branch, the email, and the doctor full name. So clearly we have combined the appointments and the doctors. Next, can we combine this with the patients? Yes, we can combine this with the patients as well. So let's click over here and go to merge queries, and over here I'll be clicking on merge queries as new. So when I click on merge queries as new, next what can be done over here, appointment and doctors, I'll be combining this with the patients. So this is the patient data, and we can combine the over here with the patient ID. Patient ID is a common column between appointment doctors. So and means the appointment doctors table contain the patient ID, and even we do have the patient ID in the demo 1 patients table, right? So these are the details. These are the details that we have. Again, I'll be switching to the inner join, and then maybe we can click on OK. So once we have this detail, this is what we have. This is what we have, right? So over here we have demo 1 patients, db demo 1 patients, and then maybe we can expand this. So if I were to expand this, I'd be needing the patient ID, or that is already available, so not needed. First name not needed, last name not needed, gender, dob, contact number, address, maybe I don't need the address because we won't be doing any analysis on the address. Registration date, insurance provider, insurance number, maybe I don't need the email. Then the full name, yes, full name is required. So patient ID I'm excluding because that is already available. Then gender, date of birth, contact number. So I'm excluding the contact number because again we won't be doing any analysis. So I'm only including the figure, let's say features or the fields on which we can apply certain analysis. Alright, that has been the primary basis, and then once this is done, I can click on OK. And let's say we have captured these details, right? So as far as the patient's details are concerned, we do have, let's say, the patient's gender, patient's dob, the patient's registration date, then the insurance provider, the insurance number, and then the patient's full name. So 3 tables we have combined. So let's rename this to appointments. So over here we do have appointments, then we have the doctors, then we have the patients, right? So 3 tables we have combined over here. Now in these 3 tables, let's add billing. So for billing, how do we combine them? We have the patient ID, the treatment ID, and the bill date. So let's proceed with the treatment first. So for the treatment, we do have the appointment ID, right? For every treatment, we do have the appointment ID. So in the appointment doctors and the patients table, we do have the appointment ID, and then we then will be combining it with the treatment first, where we have for each appointment ID there is a treatment ID available. So let's combine them. So this again I can go with the merge queries as new. So this will, I need to combine this with the treatment, right? So over here I'll be combining it with the treatment. And what is the common column? So in the appointments doctor and patient table, we do have a appointment ID that should match with the treatments table appointment ID, and once there is a match, then we can proceed with let's say any kind of join we can use. Currently I'm going for the inner join, right? So these are the details, and this is db demo 1 treatments. So what all columns do I need? Maybe I can select this. See, treatment ID I'd be needing, because for each appointment ID, the treatment ID is unique. Treatment type, yes, definitely needed. Description, cost, and the treatment date. All these features would be needed. Except for the appointment ID, all the features I need. So just click on OK. So now we have combined the 4 tables successfully. And over here we have DB demo 1 treatment. So maybe I can expand this. So except for the appointment ID, I do need the treatment ID. I do need the treatment type. I do need the description, and I also need the cost and the treatment date. So all these fields are required. So as of now, we do have all these fields, and the fields are let's say the treatment ID, the treatment type, then the treatment description, then the treatment cost, and then we do have the treatment date as well, right? So these are the features that we have. So 4 tables are combined over here. Let's rename them. So if I were to rename them, so this would be appointment. Okay, I'll call them doctors, then the patients. So we do have the doctors, the patient, the appointment. So I'll just name it app, and then treatment, right? So all these 4 tables are over here. All the necessary fields that were required for combining all these 4 tables are here. Then we do have the billing. So let's have a look at the billing table. So billing comes with let's say bill ID, patient ID, treatment ID, right? So every treatment ID, let's say, comes up with a billing. So maybe I can combine it with the patient ID or even with the treatment ID. Both these options are available. So the fields that we have over here are the bill ID, the patient ID, the treatment ID. then we do have the bill date, and then we do have the amount and the payment method and the payment status. So what can be done over here? When we do have the billing, right? When we have billing over here, so what can be done over here? Let's say we can go to doctor patient's appointment treatment, we can go to the merge queries, and then we can click on merge queries as new. So over here I need to combine this with billing. So we do have the appointment ID, and then maybe we can check for the billing table, and in the billing table we have the treatment ID, right? So let's select treatment ID over here, and we must have some treatment ID over here. Yes, we do have this treatment ID. As we can see, T001, T002, T003, and T004. These are the different treatment IDs, right? And we do have them even over here. So, and again, I'll be utilizing the inner join only, and this is how, let's say, we can combine all these 5 tables. So this is where all the 5 tables are combined, and I can expand them upon couple of columns. So DB billing, as far as the DB billing is concerned, I'll be combining them with, I need the bill ID. I don't need the patient ID. I don't need the treatment ID as well. I need the bill date, the amount, the payment method, and the payment status, right? The payment method and the payment status, I do need them, but I don't need the patient ID and the treatment ID because I already have these columns to begin with. And then I can click on OK. And once this is done, I do have the patient, let's say the billing details as well. So I do have the bill ID, then the bill date, then the billing amount, and I do have the payment status as well. So all these features are, let's say, um, available. So let's rename this. So this is the final table, right? So this is the full table. Full table, let's say with let's say all tables combined. I'm simply calling them all tables combined. All right. So this is my final result. Now, based on this final result, we can generate some business summary. Let's understand how. So first of all, I need to know what is the count of different reasons for visit. So maybe I can duplicate this, and over here, first of all, I'm going to check what are the different reasons for visit. So just click on reasons for visit, and then I can click on group by, and then in the count, so count of reasons for visit, what are the different reasons for visit, count of rows, and okay. So as we can see, for therapy we have 42 patients, for consultation 43, for emergency 29, for checkup 45, and for the follow-up we have 41. So maybe what can be done over here, we can let's say sort this. I just simply need to sort this column, so I can click over here and sort descending. So this is let's say reason for visit count for reason for visit. All right, so this is one of the business summary that we have generated. Maybe I can, let's say, rename this. This is what I'll be calling this, and next over here we can click on duplicate. So now this time we have computed, let's say, the next I need to know the specialization, right? What is the specialization for the patients? Now, what is the specialization for the doctors, not the patient? So let's check the specialization count. So again, group by. So this would be the specialization count. This is going to be the specialization count, and that's it. So let's apply this. So see, for pediatrics we have 98 doctors, for oncology we have 32, for dermatology we have 78. So this is simply let's call this, this is the specialization count. All right, over here we are considering the specialization. Next, if I were to look at the next table, then we have, after the specialization count, let's say we can go to all tables combined, and then right click, I'll be duplicating them again, and this is going to be, so reason for visit, status, okay, then the, let's say, specialization, and then the, let's say, hospital branch, right? So now I want to count branch wise specialization. I want to count hospital branch wise specialization. So let's rename this to hospital branch wise specialization count. All right, hospital branch wise, okay, I'll just be writing in short, specialization count. So how do we do this? Hospital branch wise the specialization count. So maybe I'll rename this. So this is hospital. All right, so this is hospital branch wise the specialization count. So hospital branch wise specialization. So I can click on group by, and I'll be using advanced. So hospital branch, and then I'll be using the specialization. So doctor specialization, and then I just need the count. So hospital branch and specialization was count. So I'll call this specialization count. All right, so this is going to be SPE. Yes, this is the specialization count, and let's then I can click on OK. So as we can see the hospital branch wise, maybe I can sort it, and I can sort this in the ascending order. Yeah, so for Central Hospital we have pediatrics and dermatology we have 55 and 29. For Eastern Clinic we have pediatrics and oncology, and even for the Western Clinic we have oncology and dermatology, and this is the corresponding count. So this is the third, let's say, the business summary that we have generated. Next, see appointment, date and time, reason for visit. We have seen. Then we have seen the specialization. Then we have also worked on the, let's say, hospital branch. Email, I won't be using them. Then the full name, again not required. All right, maybe based on full name I can count. Doctor wise, let's say doctor wise most patients treated, right? So maybe this can be done. So group by. So I just simply need to generate the count. So doctor wise, let's say count of treatment, count of maybe appointments. All right, so this is doctor wise count of appointments, and then okay. So as we can see, this is the result, and maybe I can rename this to appointment count, let's say doctor wise appointment count. This is what we have. So over here I'm computing the doctor wise appointment count, and let's rename this to 4. So maybe I can sort this. So I just need to click over here, and I'll be sorting this in the descending order, right? So this is what we have. So Sarah Taylor has the most number of appointments, followed by David Taylor, then Alex Davis, and so on. So this is the doctor wise appointment count. Then I can maybe duplicate this, and over here what can be done, let's proceed to the next table. So we have this details, right? So then we do then over here we are in the patient's domain. So doctor is done, and then patient's gender, and then we have the patient date of birth, then we have the patient's registration date, then the patient's insurance provider. So maybe let's say insurance provider and gender wise count. All right, so insurance provider is providing let's say insurance to which gender. This is my objective. So over here I'll be using the advanced option, and then I'll be using the insurance provider. So insurance provider is the first column, then I'll be using the patient's gender. So over here we do have somewhere around patient's date of birth, patient's gender, right? And simply count. So let's say count of insurance. This is going to be count of insurance for the patients, right? So let's click this. So over here we do have, and maybe I can sort this based on this column. So this is sort ascending. So Health India is providing insurance to male and female, and the count is 18 and 4. Then Medcare is providing insurance to male and females both, and the count is 45 and 39. Then we have the Pulse Secure that is providing the insurance to let's say males and female, and the count is 26 and 10. And then the Wellness Corp is providing let's say insurance to females and males, and the count is 17 and 41. So this is another report. So maybe I can rename. I'll call this. I'll be calling this let's say the insurance provider and gender wise count of insurance, count of let's say patients insured. All right, so this is what we have. This is insurance provider. So maybe I can just write like this, insurance provider, and gender wise count of patients insured. All right, so this is the next table that we have, and then we can maybe create one last table. Maybe I can duplicate this, and once this has been duplicated, I do have the appointment ID, patient ID. So these things we have seen. So maybe I need to know, let's say we do have the total cost, right? We do have the billing amount. So I want to find, let's say, department wise total billing amount, and maybe not just department wise, the department and specialization wise the billing amount, right? And do we have some more features? So after insurance provider, the patient's details are here, and then their treatment type, and then their treatment type. All right, so this is the treatment type, then their treatment description. So maybe treatment wise total billing, I want to know the treatment wise total bill amount. So maybe I can click on group by, and then this is treatment wise total bill amount, right? So this is not the count. Over here I'll be going for sum, and then for the sum I need to know the sum of billing amount, right? So this is not going to be count, this is let's say this is the sum of billing amount. So this is currently based on the let's say treatment type, right? So which treatment type generated the most revenue? So this is going to be treatment type wise billing amount. So let's rename this. This is simply the treatment type. So I can simply rename this. Let's rename this to treatment type wise billing amount. All right. So this is what we have, and then we can delete this. So maybe one last let's say approach that we can apply. So I'm simply duplicating this, and over here let me rename this. Okay, so I'll be renaming this. Let's check what else can we proceed with. So then we have the treatment description, then the treatment date, then the billing date, the billing amount, and then the billing method. All right, so let's maybe we can count the billing method. All right, so okay, so maybe payment method wise the payment status, payment method wise payment status count. So this is the payment method. So I can group by, and then let's say advanced I can add grouping. So this is going to be the payment so after payment method we do have the payment status and count. All right, so payment method wise payment status count. That's it. Click on OK. So for insurance maybe I can okay, double click. This is the payment method, and I can double click over here. This is going to be the payment status, and this is the corresponding count. Maybe I can sort this in the ascending. Okay, this time I'm sorting it in descending order. So for insurance there are 23 let's say pending bill clearances, and there are 20 cleared bill clearances, right? So the payment is completed for 20 records, and failed there are 21 records. For credit card based transactions, pending is 28, the paid is 24, the failed is 23. For cash, the failed is 23, the cash let's say for the cash the payment status paid is 20, and for the cash the pending is 18. So guys, this is the result that we have. So maybe I can rename this to let's say payment method and status wise count. So guys, this is the business summary that we have generated, and we have seen how to let's say sync Power Query with the live databases. So just click on close and load, and this will be stored over here. Means we'll get to see all the records over here in a while. So guys, as we can see, we have combined the Excel with the live data with the live database present in SQL, and let's say applied a number of transformations, data cleaning, pre-processing, and transformation, the ETL part in the Power Query, and this is the result that we have. So maybe we can save this. So over here I'll be saving it as let's say M5V4, and this has been saved. So guys, that brings us to the end of this session. Let's switch to the PPT. So guys, as far as this session is concerned, we have successfully let's say synced Power Query with the live database, and we have applied a number of data cleaning and transformation. So in the next session and onwards, we'll be implementing ETL operations in MySQL, where we'll be handling let's say missing values, duplicate values, malformed values, and we'll be looking at the different functions to treat let's say the dirty data in MySQL. Thank you.